Hi, and welcome to the fourth session about thinking. My name is Rachel Nahum, and the fourth session is self-harm and online safety. In this session, we're thinking around young people being digitally resilient online and thriving, where the internet is a place of support and education. So just what does thriving look like? And I think we can sometimes only concentrate on the negative side of things. So it's a good social, they've got good social networks and friendship, good support networks. So if we're bringing that back to thinking around self-harm, good support networks, people that they can speak to saying, I think I might, I'm feeling really stressed, what else can I do? And friends who send them a brilliant song or a brilliant YouTube video, or family who can say, right, let's interrupt that. We need to go out and we need to interrupt how you're feeling. Then that managing unwanted attention safely. So that can be a trigger, that can be something that heightens somebody. So unwanted attention, whether it's people they know, so knowing how to say, I don't want content like that. I don't want to speak to you right now. Or from people they don't know, so blocking and reporting people they don't know. Engages in boundaried use. So the final one is thinking around limiting the amount of time, but also boundaried use. So you're not searching for content that will upset you. You're not searching for things that might trigger in terms of self-harm. So that's an idea of thriving, what it looks like. And you can do great work with the young people that you work with, that you live with, in terms of what does it look like? How do you know when the internet is really positive? And then what we want is supporting young people. So get involved what they're doing, know the social media platforms that they're on, be curious, find out if you're living with a young person who's using them, you do need to have a look at it or get them to teach you, get them to help you download it and understand. Interrupt the algorithm I mentioned earlier, but just thinking around if you feel like that every time they go online they're getting stressed, or that it's a place of conflict for them, or they might be bombarded by things that you just know isn't true, misinformation or radicalization. Start interrupting that algorithm. So creating content, sending them messages of more positive content. So you could be interrupting it, I think I said earlier, with cat videos. You might be interrupting it with maths GCSE revision. Follow this person, they look really useful. You could be interrupting it with planning what you're going to do when you finish, so booking holidays. Ensuring they know how to block and report, and I've showed you Childline already, so using that as a resource. If you do not need to know the reporting on every single app they might be using, log on to Childline and get support from there. Have them identify support and help. So that's all the websites that we looked at, and get them to follow. If they're on social media, get them to follow them on social media. So if they are on Instagram, get them to follow Young Minds or Mind on Instagram, so that you're getting some information little and often. And then for us, just open questions, curious, or tell me what you love about that. Show me one thing you're doing. Just being curious, being really vulnerable, that we might we might not know the answers, so they might show us something and we don't know what it is. And then again, normalize. So if they come to us and say they've got something's gone wrong, just start the conversation. Okay, you've made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. You are a young person. Adults make mistakes as well. I nearly fell for this scam the other day. Okay, what can we do together to support you? Then this is across the board. So this isn't necessarily around digital, but I just think it's, as adults, we need to, for us, recognising, accepting and expressing feelings for parent and carers. The more we can model how feelings are part of everyday life. I am really angry right now. I've had a terrible day at work. My journey home was awful. And then you say, right, I'm feeling really angry. I need to go and listen to some music. I'm not ready to cook dinner right now. I'm really furious about the day. How we express some of those emotions. How do I feel when I see something I don't like online? And sharing that. I got an email from someone today, it really upset me, or someone sent me a link to something, or there's someone on our street who keeps posting, or somebody just really what to normalize that, share some of those emotions. Chat and listen often about their online lives. Just listen, be interested. And then what we're aiming for is to have interesting experiences both on and offline. So you've got problem-free subjects to talk about. So, and the reason I put online on there is that I'm really passionate about that young people think the internet is somewhere they need to cope alone. So just if we can have just, did you see that meme, or just have some shared language around things that are quite funny online or things they might have seen, it just really helps interrupt that they feel they've got to cope alone. And then the final one, teaching your child to problem solve and work through issues that they do have. And then really what we're aiming to do is we're aiming for all of us to create a positive outlook. And on the first slide here is thinking about what that looks like offline, so in the real world. And then I've just created some for the online world as well. So optimistic thinking, model being optimistic, encourage goals, creativity, engage in activity where a child has success. So encourage goals in when when you've done this, when you've done your mocks, when you've done your SATs, and when you've got through the week, we can do this. If you manage to only do 1 hour of Minecraft a day this week, we will go and get a hot chocolate, and also that creativity, engaging in activities where your child has success. So you've got some really positive things as well. And then encouraging curiosity. And I think there's somebody said once that children all have curiosity and we lose it as we get older. So it's just, how can we encourage curiosity? So lots of that is about slowing down, help your child discover new interests, show an interest in what they are interested in. And then the last one is just encouraging contentment, model being appreciative, have shared family experience, foster involvement in meaningful activities. I know it's easier said than done, but the more we are kind of saying, God, I'm really content, it's a miserable day out there, but that film was brilliant. Or should we all just watch a film? I know it's only 2 o'clock. Let's just give up on today. It's so rainy out there. We've all got soaking wet. So just that, I know it's miserable out, or what could we do together? So there are 3 things. That's across the board. And then I've just put, what does it look like online? And I've just created some examples. So again, you might want to do this exercise with children and young people. You might show them this and they might go, that's a load of old nonsense, and want to create their own. So what does optimistic thinking look like online? So it could be motivational pages. Who are people who really motivate you? It could be from fitness, it could be through mental health, it could be through being your best academically. I think with that, I just have added check each other's reality. We know that content online might not be real. So if you think that somebody might be really optimistic and then you realize they're selling something, so whether that is makeup products, beauty products, or protein, or I don't know, all sorts of stuff. So just check each other's reality with that. And then encouraging curiosity. Again, I've just created these, but kind of games, playing, learning together, any kind of quizzes or anything can be really great for that. And these are probably for the older ones. And then contentment, encouraging contentment. What does that look like online? I guess it really is about limiting usage. So just that restricting usage and making sure that there's some real life interest in there. And then I've just put in ban double screens. So double screens is when you are watching one screen, so you're watching telly, and then you are also all of you looking at your screens. And so it's terms of banning double screens. How can you be content if you are watching one thing? That is enough. That satisfies you. You don't need your phone on you at the same time. Okay, just in terms of the last couple of slides. So I just, this will be on the PDF of links that I send you, but I just wanted to show that there is a real movement across the board thinking around what we can do to support all of us, any social media user who experiences self-harm and suicide content. And the Samaritans have got this document and recommendations, and it's on page 10 of the document, but I will get it. And it's just, I just wanted to share this, that it's not just us who are trying to think around how to keep children safer. There is a huge movement around lots of things at the moment. So, and I just put this in, you can look at it in your own time, but just do agree with some of these things. So they want to give people more control over the content they see. They don't want the algorithms just choosing for you. So it's saying block censored content, build additional controls, including the ability to switch content on and off using really easy hashtags and keywords. Give consideration around self-harm scars and stories of recovery. Sometimes they can be really, really triggering. Improve signposting. So if somebody has seen something, it's really easy to see information about local services, options for live chat, the option for someone to contact you. Platforms need to make signposting easier, age restrictions, and then education guidance as well. So you can have a look at that. Okay, I'm gonna finish. I think this is the final slide. We're just going to watch a video together. This comes from the Mind website that we looked at the beginning, but I will put the link in separately, but we'll just watch it together. These are ideas, yeah, you can watch the video, but ideas that can help children if they are children, well, all of us, if people are thinking around self-harming.
TIP is a technique you can use whenever you feel stressed, upset, angry, or whenever you're struggling to cope with difficult emotions. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed. How did it feel in your body? When we feel overwhelmed, we go into fight or flight mode, which often makes us feel nauseous, makes our hearts speed up, and causes our thoughts to race. These can make us feel even worse. Sometimes you might not know how to cope with what you're feeling. That is where TIP comes in. You don't need anything to try it, you can do it anytime, anywhere. TIP stands for temperature change, intense exercise, paced breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation. This can be done by splashing your face or holding your hands in cold water, or having a brief cold shower, or even stepping outside on a cold day. When we feel overwhelmed, our heart beats faster, but cooler temperatures slow our heart rate to help us calm down. It will also help stop your thoughts racing, as you will be focused on what you're physically feeling. This doesn't have to be running a marathon, but 3 to 5 minutes of intense exercise, such as running around the block, skipping, star jumps, or dancing, can help release built-up energy. Exercise makes our heart beat faster and releases chemicals that make us feel naturally happy. It also makes us breathe faster, which leads us on to the next step. Paced breathing helps to reduce the physical feelings of fight or flight. You can do this anywhere by breathing in through your nose for 5 seconds, holding for 5 seconds, breathing out through your mouth for 5 seconds, and holding for another 5 seconds. Do this a few times, trying to breathe into your belly. This will naturally slow your breathing down and trigger the rest and digest response. This is the opposite of fight or flight and makes us feel calm and relaxed. When we feel stressed or overwhelmed, our body tenses up. You can try this sitting comfortably or lying down. Starting with your head, tense the muscles in your face and neck for a few seconds before relaxing. Move down to your shoulders, arms, hands, and torso, tensing your muscles for a few seconds before relaxing. Then move down to your legs and feet, tensing each muscle before relaxing. This helps you feel relaxed, releasing tension throughout your body, and makes you feel more aware of what your body is feeling. So now you know about TIP, try it a few times to see what works best for you.
And I have played that video alongside a young person, and yeah, it was quite useful. I think we did the circular breathing together. So this is the final section, and as I said many times, there is a PDF on this page of all of the links, including that video we've just looked at, and I hope that you found this series really useful. Thank you very much.